Carter, what do the words Tomislav Ivisic mean to you?
Uh, and twins?
Your twins? Oh no, he has a twin.
Yeah.
I thought you were implying that you and him are twinskies because you're offensively minded, formerly out of shape big men.
I mean, when you make that comparison, it does kind of hit different. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like you, Tomislav Ivisic is in the best shape of his life. That's what Tom told Joey Wagner. Shout out to Joey. VIP article for 24/7 Sports with the Illini Inquirer, and it's a long form interview with Tomislav on a look back at his first year in the program and exactly what he's expecting leading into this year. I think let me give some of my quick conjecture here before I start to read some of the quotes that Tom himself said. But I think it's fair to say you and I expect major things from Tom Ivisic this year.
Mm.
Between Tom and Andrei Stojakovic, and to an extent Kylan Boswell, those are the guys we think will drive success for this team. If there is a player on the Illinois roster that I believe could be an All-American this year, it is Tomislav Ivisic, and I am totally comfortable saying that. I thought at times they probably could have played through him more last year than they did, and the sky is the limit for an in-shape Tom Ivisic. This is what Tomislav told Joey Wagner. He said, quote, I've been here for 3 months working every day, and I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life compared to last year. I feel like last year, this was the exact day I got here. I was out of shape. I started working out late, needed some time to adapt to the team, to college basketball. I feel like that's behind me now, and I'm ready to play and ready to help the team win. He goes on. He said, for me, honestly, quite a lot has changed. I feel a lot stronger. I added a lot of muscle, helped my legs move faster. I feel like this year can be a huge step forward for me, also for the program. I just hope to be a guy that's going to help the team. Brad Underwood adds some thoughts to this as well. He says, quote, he's so smart. Tommy has been so well schooled throughout. You don't have an appreciation until you coach him of how good his reads are and everything he does. That part is great. I think the biggest things for him are physical. He's 265 pounds now. He came in at 228. You're seeing him move better. You're seeing him jump better. You're seeing a guy who always had a lot of confidence, but now we're seeing him make plays off the dribble. End quote. You're making a face, so I'll throw it to you in just a moment, but I have one more thing to add that Tom himself said before we move on from here. Um, this article concludes with Joey Wagner positing that Tom Ivisic could have gone to the NBA or gone through the process last year. The way this is written is basically he dabbled with the NBA idea this past offseason, but not seriously enough to declare and begin the process. Tom himself added this final quote about his future. He said, quote, honestly, there was some consideration to the NBA, but talking with the coaches and people around me, I felt like with the sickness and everything that happened last year, I could use one more year here. I know I made the right decision. I hope to be there next year. So this is being framed in Tomislav Ivisic's own words. One more year here, and I hope to be in the NBA next year. That's the end of all of the quotes I have for you from here. Again, shout out to Joey Wagner, the Illini Inquirer. What a great article this is. There's a lot more in there that I did not just run through here. But start wherever you'd like to start with this. He's up 40 pounds in the best shape of his life. One more year at Illinois. Your thoughts?
Well, so I'm trying to make sure I got this right. So he came in overweight at 225.
Brad Underwood is saying he came in at 222 pounds. Tom Ivisic is saying I was out of shape when I came in.
Okay, out of shape. So that doesn't necessarily mean weight. It could just mean out of shape.
Like just slow, bad stamina. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
no, honestly, I think, and there's an assumption that out of shape has to do with weight, and a lot of times it does. But you can be slim and out of shape, right? It's just you just don't have the cardiovascular health. You don't
That was
have
me in college, all 4 years in college. I
right,
was, yeah.
exactly. So I think that's all good to see because when you look at Big T last season, obviously that's his first season in college basketball. He was a little bit older, but it is a little bit of a high, a change and a process with that involved with it. And you got to think about what happened at every step of his process. He was spraining ankles. He was catching mono. Like there was a lot going on where it didn't really necessarily give him a complete off season or full season. I guess like he mentioned, that's how late he got on campus to be immersed in this, be with Fletch, and also have a healthy year where he can better himself. So, on that notion, I do think that we are going to see a different Big T this season. Now, what's that going to lead to? I don't know, but I do think that a season where we could see possibly he has a full off season and his health, I think, remains good throughout the season. I do think you will see a world where there will be a more improved Big T. Also, 7 foot 265. That motherfucker is massive.
Yeah.
That's
Big
a
boy.
massive. Like he was already a big boy. 7 feet 265 though, and like you look at just visually look at him. He doesn't. It ain't no like 265. It ain't like Carter's 265. That's how I like to constitute it. It's a. I've been with Fletch 265.
Yeah. Yeah. A couple questions from me here. So he was listed at 7'1", 230 last year. Brad Underwood is basically saying he started at 222, maybe put on 10 pounds after being with Fletch for a little bit last summer, but largely was, I mean, I didn't even realize it, right? 230 for a 7'1" guy is not a lot,
Yeah.
right? Like, but
Mhm.
the weird thing about it is you look at Tom, I never felt like he looked skinny like that. Like his
No.
brother looks thin.
Yeah.
Tom, if anything, like when they started throwing around the quotes, like I was out of shape last year, dog, I thought he had like baby fat on him still. And
Mhm.
I guess we can't call it baby fat with a guy who can legally drink in every country in the world. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like I thought he was out of shape the other way. He needs to lose some weight, not put on strength and muscle and all of that. Apparently we're just wrong on that. So hand up, we misread that, but it is a little confusing to me when you watch him play. He didn't look too small last year.
So he didn't look too. I think he played a little bit small, at times,
That's
and
fair.
how he operated. So maybe this is a change in realizing that he can, use that a little bit more. I'm also dying though that and you didn't read this part. It was like the shoulders are more filled out, his chest pumps out a little bit more, his arms look bigger, and so did his trunk.
Love that.
My dog Abyss is just packing a wagon now. And what's the Big Ten gonna do about it?
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, he was a perimeter oriented guy almost by default last year. So if this new body development, if this add 40 pounds leads to him actually getting his ass on the block more this year and having some moves and some counters and using that left hand, then I think it would only be a great thing for Illinois. Point blank, if he is going to be the all-American level player that I think his ceiling says he could be, he's going to have to do that. Like you cannot strictly be a pick and pop five, stretch big in this conference and end up reaching the levels that guys before him, Zach Edey, Luca Garza, Hunter Dickinson, even for a year at Michigan did, Kofi Coburn at Illinois, right? You have to be inside out in the Big Ten. You're always going to have to be that. You can still be a stretch five, step out and shoot, as Hunter Dickinson showed and as Luca Garza showed, but you've got to have both. And I think last year it was pretty clear Tom Ivisic did not have both. Brad's been on record saying like he had that overseas and they were frustrated at Illinois that for whatever reason it didn't translate. So hopefully reshaping his body comes with a little bit more on the block this year as well. It sounds like that's what Brad Underwood wants. Quickly, hot seat, SC Derby strength program?
Yeah, I did some deep dives into this. Uh, it just wasn't looking good.
What do you mean?
Facilities, and I actually I don't know why I found this video, but I'm pretty positive that one of the strength coaches was smoking a cigarette during the workout.
That would make a lot of sense then. Yeah, okay. Um, so okay, you're probably right. Like I can just accept what you just said as fact. But I would like to say this. I think it should probably be a somewhat major red flag for all programs, all international prospects. If you're bringing in a guy that is 21 years old who has been playing professional basketball for multiple seasons, that's his job. He's 21 and he's a full time basketball player. If that guy comes to you and the first day he shows up, he says, "Wow, I'm really out of shape." Probably a red flag. Like even if your facilities are bad, maybe you can tell me different. You played basketball. Maybe facilities matter that much. Obviously, there's only one Adam Fletcher on earth, and that's the biggest sell of the Illinois program right now is you get to work with this guy. He could reshape the Rock and turn him into something better. But like I don't really buy that Ivisic should have shown up 40 pounds out of shape. Like, I don't think that's great, right? Like, his brother's been in weight programs for 2 years, and now we're acting like he's still out of shape. So,
Yeah,
you know,
the only thing I can make a connection to there or constitute that is that the gap between like he committed to Illinois and the time he got to Illinois, I don't think there was any time spent with his team.
okay.
Right? I think it was like constituted like a summer break, and like the summer before college, instead of getting on campus, you know what I'm saying? Like he was probably catching the vibe of the Balkan coast. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like he wasn't necessarily locked in. There's a time difference associated with it. Like, a lot of times you'll get like a summer workout plan packet that you should follow, you know what I'm saying? And maybe you get with some other guys that are possibly trying to get in shape for the season as well. You work together, have workouts and things like that, or you just get your ass to campus and then you just don't got to worry about that at all. I feel like there was a gap there that threw it off, and anyone knows this, every player knows this. It's different for everybody. Like there's players that could take a gap and they'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe they'll be a little bit out of shape, but give them a week on campus, they'll be all right. But there's also some guys, necessarily more specifically big men, that if you're not on it at all times, like a couple weeks can set you back. You really got to stay on top of it given who you are. So I don't know. I feel like there was just that gap between, oh, I'm going to Illinois. There was probably some separation from the team, the professional team he played with, to like the gap where he actually got to Illinois. I think things might have maybe spiraled for him a little bit.
Yeah, maybe Tom Ivisic just belongs like in our field of like we can gain or lose 10 pounds any given month. Just depends on what's going on. So I
Mhm.
don't know. He's locked in. Credit to Fletch. Again, this is all great promo for Fletch. I would just say, again, trying to put myself in the shoes of an Illinois fan.
Oh,
Let's,
hold on a second though. Before you do that, I'm on to Illinois.
what?
They didn't send a visitor packet. They let him show up out of shape. They like people.
Um,
They like a couple players to show up out of shape so Flesh can do the before after thing.
yeah,
Classic Camp Sanderson, right out that book.
little conspiracy theory there. I don't endorse it, but I'm now back to, I'm going to put myself in an Illinois fan's shoes real quick. So, Big Z showed up fat or something. That's what somebody said. I think Tom said that like a week ago. Big T really out of shape last year. I got there so late. It was really hard to get in shape. Uh, does this make you feel all warm and fuzzy that Mihailo Petrovic is going to come in and be great? Every guy is pointing back to last year and being like, I was out of shape. I got there too late. And now the centerpiece who's supposed to run this offense is probably doing all the things Tom Ivisic did last summer. Like,
You fat shaming?
I'm not fat shaming. If anything, it's skinny shaming, right? Is Petrovic going to show up 160? Be like, it lead us to a Big Ten title? Like, no,
Yeah, I
if
know
every
that
case study we have of international players coming to Illinois is, well, they got there too late, their body just wasn't ready. I'm now supposed to be like, Petrovic is going to show up and be awesome? Like, no,
yeah.
we'll revisit this next summer when Petrovic says, yeah, I was really lazy and I needed a full year to be able to lift. Like, okay, I guess, you know?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a factor. Definitely a factor.
I'm just a little skeptical of it all. Can we get to the much more important second half of this, though, that we haven't even talked about?
Let's get to it.
Tom Ivisic is an NBA player.
No.
In his mind, he has one more year at Illinois, and he almost went to the draft this year. That's what Tom Ivisic is saying out loud in the same article that Brad Underwood's commenting on his development for. So Illinois is at least presenting behind the scenes that the plan is one more year of Tom Ivisic, and then he's in the NBA. I would like to remind you before you comment further, Tomislav Ivisic turns 22 on Saturday. Tomislav Ivisic, if he gets drafted next summer, big if, would be 23 before he plays in an NBA game. This is the 7'1", self-described out of shape center who almost went to the NBA this year, but thank God he didn't, because just one more year at Illinois. Can you help me make sense of this? This is all delusional, right?
Dream big. Dream big.
That's it. It's just let the kid dream.
Yeah, dream big.
Okay. Can I go back to my Illinois fan shoes then for a second?
Sure.
I want 2 more great years of Tom Ivisic. He's one of the best centers in the country. He has 2 years of eligibility. I'm not happy he's talking, yeah, I got one left and then NBA. Like, come dominate at Illinois for 2 more years and we'll pay you handsomely, right? Like, I don't like when players that realistically are not going to be NBA players talk as if the NBA is their plan. I lived through this with Hunter Dickinson. Now, you could make the argument Hunter probably should have left as a freshman, but Hunter was 18 when he was a freshman. He was probably in the mix to be a second-round pick. People can be mad at me for this if they want. I know I got shit for saying this last summer. Tom Ivisic was not getting drafted this year. I don't know what he's talking about. I almost went. No, you didn't. Like, no one was even going to look at you if you tried to go to the NBA last year. And maybe he becomes the best player in college basketball this year, and that changes. If he has a Luka Garza level year, where'd Luka get picked? Like 52nd? Like, the market for a 7'1" shooting big that is self-described as a little too small to bang down low and is 23 is zero. It's nothing. So I get it. We want to dream, but if I'm an Illinois fan, I'm like, dude, what? Like, the whole sell of Tom being a centerpiece of this program is he has 2 more years left, and he's a great college player, not an NBA player. So I'm lost on the vision for all of this right now.
Yeah, we'll get to that. That's it. We'll get to that. If I'm in, we'll get to that. It'll be fun next summer. He does it, goes to the combine, da da da, this, that, and the third. Here's 2 million. Here's 2.5 actually. I like you.
I guess. I thought that's what they were paying him now, though. It's like, let's pay him a
Are they?
lot you're the centerpiece of all this forever.
Yeah, NBA is not in the cards for a 7'1" 3-point shooter who doesn't want to go down low and doesn't provide any rim protection or defensive versatility.
Who in the same interview is admitting that he showed up super out of shape as a 21-year-old. But I almost went to the NBA. Like, is that, you know what this is? This is just the Ivisic brothers. This is what
Yeah.
this is. They're like, they make jokes about being out of shape and then, haha, big Z and big T. Like, haha.
I fat, he fat, I T, he Z. It's so silly.
And we play for Lakers. Like,